most of these things, guys, it's cool to theory craft it with you guys, but just know that you have to go to the QA site. If it's not there, it doesn't exist.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, because actually, the fun fact is, after stream, between streams, Snutt and I cease to exist completely.
We're like the double slit experiment. We're like when you're not watching us, or maybe it's Schrödinger's cat.
We're Schrödinger's community manager.
Yeah. As soon as you stop looking at us, you don't know if we exist or not. We might be just nothing. Double slit, okay. Yeah. It's like you have to observe us for us to.
But also, we're also Schrödinger's live streamers.
Yes.
At 4 p.m. every Tuesday, we collapse into a live stream. We're not live until we collapse into one.
Yes.
See, because no one else is here on the channel and watching the rest of the week, so it doesn't happen. But enough of you come to the stream on Tuesday that it happens.
Sorry, my mind is blown. I don't know what I am anymore. Who am I?
Feeling that I, as a CM myself, only exist when there's something to complain about. You know, I get the feels, but also we're kind of lucky here, I think, because I think people don't. I think that there's a lot of community managers who pretty much only ever deal with people who are like complaining or upset with something or whatever. But I don't think that's the case with Snutt and I.
No.
I think we get a healthy dose of people who are just chilling.
Yeah. It's definitely. Well. Don't know if that's just like because we've managed to like moderate it in such a way where we end up in that situation, or if we just have an awesome community. And I think it's maybe a bit of both, but mostly the other one, the second one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like since day one, our community has been pretty wholesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Just waiting to release the game. Yeah, that's true. When we no longer can hide behind the facade of it's early access, guys. It's just early access. Don't be so harsh on us. That's when it all crumbles.
Is that what we're hiding behind?
Sure. I mean, we technically can.
Are we? I don't know.
No, I think I'm mostly reflecting on that because I do see a lot of people when like people are talking about bugs and stuff on forums that like, yeah, but it's an early access game, so it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
guess.
I guess.
I guess.
To a certain degree, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
But when we're in 1.0, we're on our own. We're dead in the water, mate. There's no excuses anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when that comes around, I think the reality is like even at 1.0, I imagine there's gonna be bugs. I mean, hopefully there'll be less.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be absolutely none is ridiculous because that's. I don't know.
I think it will be very similar.
We're just gonna do our best.
When we did the initial launch of the game, you know, like I think it's gonna be a similar experience to that. Because it is gonna be interesting to see how sort of people will view the game when it's not early access, or if like people do view it differently because it is early access. Like, because this is the first game I've ever released that was in early access, and I remember how fucking weird it felt to work on a game that wasn't like finished when we launched it, because that's new to me, and I'm like, but you can't wait. Can you do that? It's like, how does it work? But it's totally like a you know, it's a different type of delivery of the game when you do it that way. It's not like it's not finished really, but that's how it felt to me at the time. But it definitely is like its own sort of.
Yeah, so we've got a couple people here saying like, yeah, 1.0 should not crash, but this is like an interesting. I mean, I agree, it should be stable, right? But if your game goes out to 3 million plus people who have varying hardware, is it ever gonna crash?
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna crash.
Yeah, it's gonna crash.
It will crash.
There's
literally nothing anyone can ever do about that.
Yeah.
So it's not about whether it will or will not crash. It's like, well, what degree is acceptable and what frequency, right?
Because like I do agree that like yeah, at 1.0 the game should be stable, but I also feel like if you're releasing it on early access, it should also be stable. So it's not like we're just like, no, we're not fixing this because we're in early access.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely not the case. We are fixing. We want to make sure that people can play the game.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we're doing our best now anyway. I don't think we're cutting really too many corners.
No.
Like the only I suppose the difference between this and a 1.0 release could be that we can dedicate more time to making sure things are even more stable, because we know what we're doing and we're not working on things that are going to come later, right? Because it's like we're making this game and we're done now, so we're going to stabilize it. So like that's something we can do.
Yeah, because like to me it's about how, since we're still developing the game, there are a bunch of things where it might not be the best of our interest to, you know, dedicate time on fixing something that we know we need to rework anyways.
Later, yeah.
Yeah, so like there's no point in fixing a bug we know that will get fixed once we replace the entire system. Whereas when you launch like a game where you would say like this is a finished product, then you kind of like need to be more in maintenance mode, I guess, and be like, we have to maintain whatever we put out. So I think really like from my point of view, like that's the only real difference, is like you know that you're still developing the game actively. But like when it comes to QA and stuff like that, I think we've always been sort of, we think it's important that the game is playable and like it's in such a good state that it is enjoyable. Like the issues that we do have aren't necessarily game-breaking issues.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Who knows? Maybe we still can do better. And I think like there'll be like a mindset change, right? Because right now, one thing that we have to focus a lot on is we need to make sure we keep moving forward, because something that we've struggled with before is like stagnating, getting too caught up in things, not really getting things done. And when we're trying to finish a game and we're distracted by like everything, we're like, ooh, shiny thing here, oh, maybe new feature, right? Like we're never going to finish at that point, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense in that case where we have to then like, we have to weigh up all our options, and we're like, well, we need to prioritize moving forward in the early access as well. But when we get to 1.0, maybe we don't have that really anymore, right? So we can just be like, no, we just fix things.
Yeah.
Should be good. I don't know. We're just gonna do our best, guys. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I know. I know if I want it to be really, really reassuring, I'll be like, everything's gonna be fine. But I'm a very realistic person, and I don't know if it's gonna be fine or not. We're just gonna do our best, guys. That's all we can do.
That's always how we've been trying to commute this, at least. Like we don't know everything. Like it's that's the point of developing.
I have no idea if we'll meet expectations or not. We'll find out.
Yeah, we just hope.
And I mean, if we don't, people get mad. Okay.
Even before we launched the game, we were quite nervous about like, is this actually a game people want to play, like, or buy? Like,
yeah. Apparently, our ability to predict the future is completely awful. We've gotten everything wrong, but we've failed successfully anyway, because we still have a good game and a great community. So
you have to fall up, or whatever the quote is.
Yeah, exactly. We've absolutely fallen up. Yeah. Falling up the stairs, Well, glad to have you all along for the ride, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be fun, guys. Don't just give Snutt and Jace a big hug. Give the whole team a big hug, because they actually make the game. We did work on the game, but we don't really do it anymore.
Yes.